Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 8 habits that I think that can be good for anyone who wants to start growing right now. So the reason why I want to make this video, is especially when it comes to making habits and developing new habits, is because when you develop new habits, that is really going to make your perspective shift. It make you to be much more focused, and you have more clarity. And the reason why I want to say this is because I fell back into doing a lot of habits, and I'm actually willing to even going back to the habits that I used to do. So for example, I used to wake up in the morning all the time and I would get things done. But for a little bit, I had a lot of things too caught up and I fell back. So I kind of started to backslide. So I was inspired by mostly just getting back into the habit, and I hope this inspires anyone who watches. So without further ado, I'm about to get to the chase right now. So let's talk about it right now. Now, the first habit that I want to specifically talk about too, and I think it is very important, and anyone has to do it at least one time of their life, and that is meditation. I briefly talked about meditation in the past few months, and I want to talk about a little bit more of it. Now, the reason why I say that meditation is a good habit to form, especially, is because you don't need that much time when you do it. Now, I know this is very hard for people, and we think that we have so much things to do. I have so much things on my plate. And when you think in this way, it's really going to cause a lot of stress and anxiety, and it is not going to be serving you, and it's going to put more pressure and much more tension than you actually need. So that's where meditation comes in, where you can just sit down and relax and just breathe in and just I say to get back in this present moment and just do things that are right. Just do the right thing. And that right thing to do is to take and carve out time for yourself and do nothing, so you can clear your mind and clear your head. And another misconception that I want to talk about with meditation is that meditation, it isn't necessarily about clearing your mind, but it is basically you are sitting with yourself, you just accepting things as they are, as it is right now. And you are not blocking anything out. You're not trying to repress or suppress any thoughts or make judgments of them. All you do is be aware and be here right now. Now, the second habit that I say that is very helpful for anyone, especially to get out of your own head, is yoga. Now, this both can correlate from meditation as well. The reason why I say this is because meditation helps you to get out of your own head. So does yoga. And when you put these two things together, and when you put yoga in the mix with meditation, you are moving in your body without even thinking about it, and you just flow just the most natural way as possible. It's basically you're going with your gut. You're going to your intuition and whatever feels right for you at that moment. You're not necessarily doing any mechanical movements, no robot movements, nothing. Now, it's good to have that, you have in a structure to tell you what to do, but at the same time, you would like to move in a way where you can get your own flow in. It's kind of like where a person, they create their own little routine. That's where they get a little flow. The same thing can apply to yoga. You start to develop your own flow. You start to develop your own little routine, and you can switch it up a bit. And that's what is great about with yoga, is that you don't have to necessarily stick to one simple routine. You can switch it up a bit. People can freestyle. People can do a fast-paced yoga. People can do a slow-paced yoga. It just depends on how you're feeling on that day, or even if you're interested in doing something, you could just be willing to be open to try it right now. The third habit that I say that is really great for people to grow and to become their fullest potential is to read. Now, this is probably a no-brainer. We all hear that when you grow, you start to read and learn more. And this is as simple as it is, but this can also be a hard habit to obtain. Now, the reason why I say this is hard to obtain is because we have a lot of things on our plate. Once again, just like I said on the other two habits, when you sit down and read a book, it is going to help stimulate your mind and even get you to think different things that you haven't even thought of in ever. There's been many things where I would read a book and I had no idea about what things were, and it just makes you get back into being much more humble and to be excited about learning new things and not feeling insecure if you don't know everything at all. And this is one of the insecurities that I had for a very, very long time, is I felt that I was so dumb that I just did not have any potential to even learn anything because I didn't read, I didn't write, I didn't do any of that. But when you do read, it does help stimulate your mind, and it does help you to see things from a different perspective. That's what I say that can help people to grow, is to see things from a different perspective rather than looking through your own perception of how you see things with life. So it's kind of like you're getting inside other people, as far as I'm meaning by these authors. You're getting inside of their heads and you kind of just having a little conversation with them. Depending on how the book is written, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, self-help, if it's an informative book, whatever it is a form of communication. And when you read, this will help you to make you really think. Now, I know I'm saying a lot of thinking, but it really does make you think. I just love it, and I really think I highly recommend reading. It's one of my personal favorites, honestly, is to read. Now, the fourth habit that I would like to say that can really help for people growing, that I say, is journaling. This is one of my personal favorites. And the reason why I say journaling is a great tool to use, especially when it comes to growing, is because there are so many options when it comes to journaling. You don't necessarily have to have one simple journal. You can have multiple journals. People can make gratitude journals, dream journals. They can make journals when they take notes. You can make journals with your own quotes. You can make different lists of things, recipes, all kinds of stuff. There is countless possibilities, endless possibilities to even start to write. And the reason why I say that journaling is very important is because I use it as a tool to get deep into inner work, such as like getting into the subconscious. Or you can also do this type of tool that people use as stream of consciousness, where you do not even think about what you're writing. All you're doing is writing whatever flows right now without stopping and thinking about what you're going to write next, because that is really going to gain some insight of how you think and how you operate, and even just you bring more awareness about the things that you've learned, the things that you've seen, and the things that you can go and read back up on. And even to this day, I even go back onto my older journals because there's been things that I haven't not noticed. And even through journal entries that I used to write all the time, they really gain a lot of insight. And I realize how much I've actually changed over time in the past 2-3 years from now. Even sometimes it can even be about if you change within 3 to 4 months, you can even see different progress with that. So that's why I say journaling is very important, because you can gain lots of insight. It makes you become more articulate because you're practicing writing skills and communication. That is another tool that I say that's very important, is because communication is a lot. Not only you communicate through paper, but you can also communicate with out of your mouth and to articulate what you're trying to convey with others. That's why I say that journaling is an amazing tool to use, and I really highly recommend it, and to keep a journal and just try it out. And I say that before you even start journaling, just have a reason why you're doing it. Don't do it because you think I must have to do it so I can grow. No, this is just a thing that people can use, especially just with good intentions. That's all you have to think about is intention. What is your intentions? What is your motive? What is your overall motive? What is the root of you doing this? That's what you really need to think about. This is what we all need to think about. Not only for you, but for myself as well. So I really highly recommend for people to keep a journal in if you are really interested in gaining some insights of yourself and all kinds of stuff that you can do that I just named. And the last habit that I want to talk about when it comes to growth and growing is to have some kind of form of exercise that you're doing, some kind of activity that you can do. And the reason why, now I know that exercising is not for everybody and people are probably not interested in exercising. Now, there are different types of forms of exercise that anyone can do. I'm not saying you can do everything, but you can do a lot of things. And the reason why I say exercise is very important because not only is good for your body, but it can also be good for you mentally. It can help stimulate different muscles that are going, and it makes you become more active. And I say because it makes you feel good, and what's wrong with feeling good, you know? And to get on the good foot, you need to have some kind of form of exercise. So this can be, and this doesn't have to be about cardio, jogging, running, because I sure as hell do not do none of that. But you can do a little bit of a bicycling, basketball, strength training, weightlifting, CrossFit, whatever that suits you, as long as you're moving your body and some kind of form of exercise that is very active. I really recommend people to do activities that don't even feel like exercising. For example, my sister, she would sometimes dance for exercise and without even her knowing it. And that's why I say that exercising is very good, because life is too short. And when you do not exercise, I feel that like you're not taking care of yourself. Now, I'm not this fit, top-notch personal trainer. No, absolutely not. But just a little simple active work is good to do here and there. So yeah. Now, that is all I want to talk about today. If you like this video, please feel free to share and like it to someone who you think that will benefit from this list. And if I haven't mentioned anything that you like to do as far as personal growth or even growing with some kind of habit, please feel free to share it in the comments below. I'm actually excited to see what you guys have to say. And as always, I'll see you next time. Take care.